Hey everyone, Kevin the Toy Smuggler here. Hope everyone's having a happy holidays. Hope everyone's been safe. A lot of crazy people out there on the road and stuff like that. But today I got another little treat for you, another little custom work. I'm showing the ending process of the MOTU Warduke. So I want to also to thank everyone for just all the comments and replies and all the reviews on the Yoda Dagobah playsets. Oh man, thank you guys so much. Good response. So I want to start doing more this year. Coming up, more of the custom stuff, paint jobs, some sculpting, you name it, whatever you guys want, I'm here to deliver. Let's get over there to that art table and let's show you guys where we're at. Let's take this thing home. Alright guys, here we are. Try to work here behind this camera and do some painting. And as you see, the Warduke is almost done. I'm sitting laying the rest pieces. We got his Chaos Sword here. We got his right arm. We got his little, like a Persian kind of feel D&D dagger. And I'm going to end up gluing right here on the front of him. And also I'm going to show a picture of the kind of the old 3 3/4 inch toy. You know, everybody's seen it before. I'm going to flash that up, and that's kind of the basic color scheme we're going, but except I'm going to go a little bit more darker tones with the blues and anything that's yellow. That's going to be kind of like a brassy color we're going with, and obviously we're going with a silver for the blade, and also for his shield here. So in the shield here, we also got it done, and I got it where it actually, you can see here I took some scrap leather and stuff here, and all I did is trim it up and stuff. I got fine scraps of that, and then I used a coffee stir stick and super glued it in here for the handle, and it worked out so far very, very well. It has a reality look to it, but yet it just functions quite well. So I figured what we might do, since I got to paint both sides of this, is let's go ahead and let's get away do a quick step on the front of this, do some dry brushing on it and on the front of this sword, and maybe do a dab. I think I'm going to hold up on the spikes here. I think I'm going to use a chrome pen to highlight it just a touch. So let's go in here and jump into that. And we also too, I'm just sitting here looking at the reference art. I'm keep turning around here. This band on his arm is silver. And it looks like we can go ahead and use some, he don't have, like I said, this is off of a Triclops body, so I don't know if I'm going to go with a brass or a silver here. So I hadn't made up my mind yet, because on the toy he does not have wristbands. So, and from what I'm seeing, I think I just may keep with the silver flow. I'm not sure, but let's just hold off here. Quick shot of coffee. See here. Actually, set this down real quick and let's scoot the figure over with. I tell you what, doing these little paint jobs and sculpting stuff behind the camera, I almost wish that I had a different monitor hooked up to this to where I can see. Here's something else I'm going to be mixing with some of the metallics paints. Pearl X powders. Great stuff. Really does adds a little oomph to your paint when you're using it. There we go. It don't take a whole lot. Like I always say, it takes a lot less paint on these jobs than what you think. Ooh, got some gooey paint going on. It's going to be messy right off the bat today. Alright, we're going to take it's a small stiff brush. Dab a little water. Take the excess off and we'll dip it right into that silver. And all this does is just give this other silver just a little extra punch. You don't even have to have it, but like I said, you just roll it in there, tap it, and I said, take some of it off right here. Alright. And what we're going to try to do, I got a napkin there. And like I said, you want to, like I said, you don't need a whole lot. Go the opposite of your grain. Soft, little crisp motions here. And I think, let's see, I'm going to get right in here. I'm thinking, hold up. I'm really not like how that, clean that off real quick here, folks. Sorry about that. I just at the last minute, I think I'm going to change my approach here. I'm going to go with a little bit wore out, softer brush, a little wider. Let's see here. See if this does. There we go. Coverage. I want a little bit better coverage here. Because if you still end up thinking it's just too much silver, when this dries, I can show you another way you can take it back down a notch or two. Like I said, that's why, honestly, and another process way you can do this right here would be you can hit it with a dab of silver spray paint, then come back in with oil paint. And honestly, if I was not recording this and putting this on the camera, that's probably how I would probably end up doing this one. But since I'm trying to sit here and show you guys, it's it's like 4:20 this morning, 4:30, and I didn't feel like. Another thing, spray painting this early in the morning on during the winter time, it's hard for the paint to adhere. It just don't, spray paint in cold weather just don't work well. So, but this is working just as fine. And like I said, if I want to dingy it up just a little bit more, it could be easily done with some oil paint on top of this acrylic. So there we have. And see, that's a nice rough. And this is Warduke. This is not supposed to be pretty. This should look rough. And we're going to go back and make it look a little bit rougher. And what we can go ahead and do here, take the sword, a little bit more paint, and here I can be a little bit more liberal because I'm going to come back in with some, like a brass color for the handle and stuff. So, a little sheen on here. Like I said, it don't even have to be that well done. You know, and these sword, I can't even remember. I think it came off of a Lady Death is what this came off with. There we go. But I tell you what, it looks really good for Warduke. And that's all you need, something look a little bit rough. Throw that down. And this one we're going to go, I think, on the details of the figure. Yeah, it shows it to be all yellow, so I'm going to go with a brass color feel. I think I'm going to go brass on the handle and go with a brown. Maybe come back in and touch up these little rubies, I think. So there's that. But one good thing about with the acrylic, it does dry quite quickly. But I want to give that shield just a couple more minutes. I'm going to tap back in here to the paint. Grab this Warduke. And this little part right here of his leg is silver. And like I said, not even going in with a tight brush. It is just not needed, I don't think, here. I think I can go in here and just sorry if I get quiet, that's just me. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see painting like this to make sure you guys get the best angle here. And like I said, and to me, I think it's more difficult doing it this way with the acrylic paints. Like I said, I rather hit it with a little spray paint, Or in this case, I could, you know, this one I wouldn't hit it with the spray paint, but I would actually put some spray paint into like the lid of the can and brushed it on this part, just so I wouldn't have to go all trouble masking everything. And like I said, if I feel like I got too much silver paint on here, I can always come back here in a little bit and get my black oil paint. Same black oil paint that I used on the Dago ball, that any black oil paint will do. It's just, don't worry about buying special paints. I know that's one thing I see, and like I said, I'm not being negative against anybody on YouTube or whatever. Don't, if you're just getting into being an artist and stuff like that, don't worry about name brand brushes, name brand paints. Bottom line, you're too early, especially if you're a beginner and you're wanting to get in. No matter if you're trying to be a professional oil painter or a toy maker, that's the least of your worries. Do not worry about that. So that's done. I think this should be dry enough. Yep, dry enough where we can touch it and go ahead and get another quick layer of this in here. Like I said, don't need much. And see, and using that epoxy sculpt, it added a whole lot of crazy wrinkles here. And like I said, I spread this over. I took a big, huge Christmas ornament, just a Christmas ball, and it's one of the decorative kinds that sit on your table. So it kind of had a flat spot where it could not roll around, which made it great for setting this thing up. And then I put some saran wrap over it, mixed up my putty, patted it out to the right thickness that I was wanting, and just laid it over it and let it harden up. Didn't worry about no details. I just wanted to get this saucer convex shape going first. Then that way I had something good and solid to work with to build up from that point. So, and like I said, I'm here, I'm just constantly changing the grains here. I want these little wrinkles and cracks to pop. I want this thing to look like it was hammered out by some crazy you know, fantasy blacksmith. And that is looking really good so far. I really like that. So, yes, this is, and that's the effect you want. This is Warduke. This is not, you know, King Arthur deal here. You know, they don't supposed to have the nice chromy looking stuff. This is stuff that definitely has been used. Let's see here, looks like I missed a spot over here. No big deal. There we go. See, it looks like it needs a little bit more right in there. If you notice, I've not even went back and added too much more paint to my brush. Maybe there's a dab. See, just a little bit here and there. Alright, that looks really good. And anywhere like there, just wet your finger, wipe it right off. You got a minute to work with it. And now we can go to, let's see if I cannot paint, dry brush this little sleeve here, this armband, with this big huge brush. Let me see if this is possible, or do I need to get the little brush? Let's see if this is possible. So like I said, I don't want it perfect. I just want it to read like some hammered metal, pewter even. So, and it's that black, that when it shows through, that's really what kicks those details. And that looks really good, just like that right there. Keep it simple. Alright, lay that down, ain't gonna matter. And now, I think what I'm going to do, this is not on the original toy, But you got these two little button things here. And like I said, I didn't add any more paint here, but I just want to just accent ever so gently these two little buttons. Just lightly. Just enough that where when the light touches it, it's going to kick a little bit. So, and I think, and I don't know, and there's a little silver. See, actually, I got to use a brass ring like for necklaces and stuff, but I didn't get to use one there. I only had one left. So I don't know if I can get in there with this big huge brush. I know y'all thinking, Kevin, that's way too big of a brush to go after that. Well, let's find out. Worst thing it is, you wipe it off. No big deal. And I'm not worried about if I get any on the straps right now because I'm going to be coming in with brown and doing that. So I got a little bit of livery here. Be a touch messy. So let me take a look at this over here. Sorry folks, I'm going to have to get this off camera just a hair here. I can't see. And that is super, super tiny. And honestly, just to keep some continuity going on here. And I got this laid out anyway. I'm glad this is a perfect opportunity to mention this. A lot of the black you see here was done with this Office Depot permanent marker. So, and the reason I use that is it's a very nice clean black, and also especially when you're and that's what I did the whole entire shield with, is on Magic Sculpt. It's a very, very porous. So what it does was it soaks and stains it. So, and that helps you when you stain something versus painting something. That allows you to keep all your 100% your detail. So what I'm going to go in here right now, I am going to blacken this up. That way I can come in with that silver paint, and that way it will look more continuity. The chain in here, that's just going to be a turkey. I almost wish I painted this chain before I even got started, to be honest with you. But this chain here, I think what I am going to do here is get my small brush and some oil paint and just tarnish it up. I think so. I'm not going to try to get in there with this marker because the marker would be pretty psychotic to deal with. So, but these lot difference, I know you think, oh, why don't you just grab a Sharpie? Sharpies is more of a purple kind of a dye versus this. So, I just wanted to show you guys that.